you blew my mind with the revelation that Catherine almost rejected the Princess of Wales title, Diana's title. You talk about, you know, the pressure you're under when you marry one of Diana's sons and how you're constantly compared to Princess Diana, whether it's your wardrobe, whether it's the charities you pursue, the way you engage with children. And you say the Princess of Wales, Catherine, did not want to add another element to her day-to-day life that would force that comparison. Why do you think ultimately she did choose to take the
I think that when she was not really wanting it was when it was sort of 2016, 2017. I think at that time, you know, the weight of Diana, the ghost of Diana, if you like, you know, it weighed heavily on the mind of Camilla. There's no way, even though she should have been the Princess of Wales, she was going to take that title. And the same with Catherine. I think she thought it's too much. You know, I mean, she's too big a character. But you know, I'd spell out right at the end of the book that there's only been about 10 or 11 Princesses of Wales, and that's if you include the Duchess of Cornwall, you know, Camilla, in the whole of British history. So, which seems strange considering it's the wife of the heir to the throne. You know, I think that when it came to it, and the transition had gone through with the king, and that actually went very, very smoothly compared to what I think a lot of people thought. I think then it was the speed of everything that happened. There was not much time to think about it. The king then made his son the Prince of Wales immediately. There was no delay. Remember when he was 10, 11 when he was made Prince of Wales, the king. So he wasn't always the Prince of Wales at birth. He was created that by the Queen. And so I think that what happened was that once that happened so quickly, then it was a fait accompli for Catherine. You will be the Princess of Wales. And I'm sure she would have probably been a bit nervous because the last person, you know, frankly, was the most famous and most photographed woman in the world. And her life, you know, ended tragically, and she's always a figure in people's hearts and memories. So it would have been a quite tough idea. But I think she thought, I have to do this to support my husband. It's the right thing. He is now the Prince of Wales. But I think initially, early on, I'm told that she was not very happy about the island. She's not happy, conscious of the issues that could arise.
Absolutely. I cannot imagine that kind of pressure. I mean, every day she walks out of her house, she might be wearing polka dots, and some photographer finds 30 pictures of Diana wearing polka dots. And she's like,
Happens all the time.
Just wanted to wear a cute outfit today. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I do wonder behind the scenes if there was some resentment from Prince Harry when Catherine was given that title. Do you think that there might have been? I look at it, I
I
see
think
it.
there's an inevitability when he looks at it, but of course, and again, what it does is it pushes him further away in terms of being Diana's son. It's a bit like Prince Andrew, really, another way. You know, being the Queen's second son is a big thing. Being Diana's son is a big thing. But as you can then go further down the pecking order, it's now focused on William and his wife and their children, and there's more and more distance between these people and their closeness to the crown, and I think that then they become, you know, less important. Really, they're less relevant, and I think there's no doubt that Harry is becoming less relevant. He's constant whinging. He's whinging about the latest thing on the press, where he's whinging about everything. Is, you know, that basically the press called his breakup with his family. Well, I don't think so. I mean, you know, there's a lot of things that caused the breakup with his family, not least his own decision to leave and his own decision to you know, to trash them and then to write stuff about them in his book. So I think that
trash them in the media. It's like, yeah, the media might have.
So I think it's all a bit silly. It's all a bit silly to say that somehow that they're to blame. But I think what he's become, I think what this cancer issues, both the king and Catherine has shown, is that, you know, the people can't be bothered with the drama, the noise around the Markles. I call them the Markles, between Harry and Meghan. But it's just too much bother. It's too much drama, and I think people have had enough of it. Really.
That's the damn truth. All right, you talk about how Catherine is this really soothing presence when it comes to the Prince of Wales, Prince William, and King Charles. In the book, it specifically says, I believe this is one of your sources, she is somebody who always tries to see both sides of any dispute, adding that emotion. She is an emotionally mature princess that's a stabilizing influence. Do you think that there was a time where the Princess of Wales tried to navigate Prince Harry's feelings more so than she probably does now? Or did Harry and Meghan come out guns blazing to the extent that the palace and the Wales family immediately had to go to protection mode? She wasn't really able to be considerate of their feelings because there were immediate accusations. So I mean, you talk about recollections may vary. I mean, did they immediately have to go into protection mode? And Catherine,
Yeah, I mean, the attacks came really essentially from Oprah Winfrey's interview. That interview then, they're coming thick and fast.
mm-hmm.
And I think that for history's sake, I think that they all had to react in a certain way, in a mature way, and realize, yeah, okay, there may have been mistakes that have happened, but some of these claims and counterclaims are utterly ridiculous. We do not want to get involved in a slagging match, but at the same time, we don't want to leave ourselves open to saying that just because we haven't countered these claims, they are in some way true. So it's a difficult balance not to be seen to get involved in a slagging match, but also condoning somebody's claims by not reacting to them. So I think that they did that very cleverly. She's a solution finder. I think that no doubt that her and Harry got on very, very well. When the pre-Meghan, but obviously things went very badly awry between him and his brother, and obviously she's going to support her husband, which is the right thing to do. And I don't think there's an awful lot in terms of the idea of them coming back or any reconciliation. I just, they're too far away. They're not really relevant in any way to William and Catherine's lives.
I agree. I don't see the value in it at this point while they seem to be so stuck in the past.
Yeah, they are. But I don't think there's any value going forward really much because, there's been too much water under the bridge. There's too many claims and counterclaims. And, I think when she walked with them after the Queen's death and they did that walk, meeting the crowds, and she said it was the hardest thing she ever had to do. I should imagine it probably was pretty tough given what had gone on. And yeah, at the end of the day, no, there's not going to be any reconciliation there, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, you wrote beautifully about how the Princess of Wales found putting on that show of unity after the Queen's death, walking around Windsor, how that was the hardest thing she'd ever had to do. And I was reminded that Katherine is not the actress. It's Meghan Markle that's the actress, and Katherine put on a much more stoic show. She was much more strong and she just looked
very much. I thought she was.
A lot of dignity, and she looked a lot more comfortable in that position than Meghan did on that day. As I hate
That's
to.
true. Yeah, I think that is true. I mean, I think she was more sure-footed that day. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, talking about Meghan, I had never heard this. This was a huge revelation to me as well, that Prince William sought assurance that Meghan wouldn't be wearing any of Princess Diana's jewelry on her wedding day to Prince Harry. To me, that instinctually, that makes me feel like Prince William was really nervous about this marriage, and that his mother's jewelry, it's a sacred thing, and that
well, it's more than that actually. What it is that he is the prince. He would be the oldest son. His wife, when he becomes, as he is now, the Prince of Wales, that jewelry is for his wife, the Princess of Wales. So it's not for distribution amongst family members. That is for him, and when he's king, he's in control of that jewelry again. It's not to be sort of handed out willy-nilly. So a lot of the things that they were wearing, that were actually Diana's, had been given from the royalist, from the Queen's collection. So that would all go back once the Princess of Wales died. All of that went back into the pool for the monarch. And so if you start handing out, so I wanted to wear that and then just keeping it, not suggesting that Meghan would, but if it was the case, then that would be more difficult.